That's right. Fair use. Fair use, nigga.
And I'm going to be straight up, okay? Straight up.
Yes, I was down all day yesterday.
With a girl, when I see the way those girls looked and the age of them, that's way uncool to me. And I look at women as, damn, I'm going to sound freaking like a serious conservative here or something, but them or a religious fanatic. I don't really care. Men are stronger than women, and women to me should be treated with respect. And you should be willing to fight for a freaking woman. Give your damn life to save them. And when I see someone disrespecting women, especially young, it pisses me the fuck off. That's the problem.
Oh, I understand that point, Bruce.
That's the problem.
I'm not saying, and it's like I said, there are people that have varying views and varying opinions on what something is right and what isn't.
Yeah, my heart rate's up right now. I'm real fucking pissed. My voice, I can feel it shaky. I'm like ready to throw somebody through a fucking wall. I get that way. Not commonly, but on an issue like this, that's how I get. I remember talking with a guy that just got out of jail maybe a year ago. And no, it's a couple years ago now, because I remember the other guy I was talking with had just passed away. And we're out talking about jail, being in prison. And I'd also heard that he had some problem with young girls. Now, and I didn't have proof of that, but what I knew was he said the thing he hated worse, what was worse than pedophiles, were queers. I thought, yeah, because they were fucking with him when he was in prison. He's a big son of a bitch, but yeah, I just leave it at that. Him and I never got along after that. Fucking bastard. So anyhow, Terry, I'm sorry, man. I'm the wrong guy. I'll leave it go. All I'm going to tell you right now, don't fuck with me. It's a bad idea.
Bruce, why would I fuck with you? Explain it to me.
Let's call it.
Bruce, you tell me. What reason have you given me to screw with you, and why are you trying to accuse me of screwing with you?
I don't have to accuse you of screwing with me too much when I can look at those fucking pictures and the shit you posted to those young girls. Shut the fuck up.
Oh, what's wrong, Bruce?
Yeah.
What's wrong, Bruce?
Oh, bastard.
What's wrong, Bruce?
What's wrong?
You're listening to your other buddies? What's wrong? Are you trying to create drama, Bruce?
Okay, I'll tell you what.
What's wrong?
Hey.
What's wrong? Where's your proof?
I'm going to eject you because I'm so fucking pissed off and you're so fucking far away. I can't tear your fucking head off. Fuck you, asshole.
You're the sick one, Bruce.
Oh, fuck you, boy. That's it. Sorry, guys. I can only take so much.
What we were talking about, Terry, regarding you have, let's say, a 16-year-old teenage girl that really just wants to find a mature guy to be with even at that age, right? And she's not finding that in her high school because all those dudes are just thinking about getting in her pants, right? Which, look, I think most guys are like that. I wasn't like that when I was in high school. I had a high school sweetheart and I was faithful to her and I loved her and I cared about her. But most guys are thinking about one thing. And in most cases, Terry, these guys out there that have been convicted of being child predators or pedophiles, it was the 16-year-old girl or the underage girl that pursued the guy and really truly wanted something with him. And basically, when the guy didn't give into it, then she said, oh, he touched me. And the guy never put a hand on her, right? Next thing you know, they're in court. Who are they going to believe, right? Next thing you know, the guy is a registered, sex offender, and he didn't do shit, right? And that's why women, by nature, are spiteful and vindictive. When they don't get what they want, they're spiteful and vindictive, and they'll make things up to get back at you. And does that make sense, Terry? You understand? A lot of these cases all boil down to women are more mature than men. Women mature faster than men. And even women that are under 18 are more mature than men that are under 18. And they're looking for that equal even at that age. Now, there's nothing wrong with saying this, folks. We're having a conversation here about facts. I'm not saying that I would ever, date someone underage. I wouldn't, but this is what happens. You can think of me as Chris Hansen, Dateline NBC. Go ahead. Sorry, I had to throw it in, Terry.
No, it's true. And I mean, that's the other thing, that these sick individuals, they just think automatically, oh, they've commented on someone who's actually sub 18. Well, they're a pedophile because they just even made a comment saying that, oh,
right. Or if someone shows up on my stream, it's a public stream, Terry. Oh, he's 13, he's 14. Well, listen, anyone over 13 can come into any public stream. That's how YouTube and Google have it set up. Now, if they're under 13 and they're on a sock account, that's a different story. But how can we tell? What if someone that's 13 or 12 comes on here and pretends to be 21 and signs up as being 21? Like, where do you draw the line? But go ahead, Terry. I know what you're saying. I get it. Go ahead.
Yeah, and that's ultimately the thing as well, too, is, the youth has matured not just biologically, but again, mentally, because of not having parents to show them and make them understand that, hey, it's great to be sexual and feel all those things and that, but you really shouldn't explore those things until you're at least maybe like 16. Like, not like when you're 11 and 12. And there's a lot of bad parenting that has gone on since the 80s that lets these types of things slip through. And again, that further is the empowerment and the sexualization of youth to be sexually empowered to do these things because they know they can get away with it. Just like I said, as I was explaining earlier about the child rings, there was a recent child ring that was exposed in Hamilton, Ontario, about 8 months ago that they made about the Ontario Provincial Police made about 7 arrests, and the ones that were the biggest arrests were the ones that were doing it, and the age ranges of those people that were part of that were between the age ranges of between 14 and 17, and the heads of them that were doing it all were 17-year-old males and females. So, I mean, it doesn't even get to like that level. Like you think that normally it's an adult that's behind this ring, and like, no, this is actually, kids their own ages that have blackmailed other kids their ages into these like child sex rings and stuff. And, people talk about, someone doing things to a young individual, blowing their mind. The even more blowing of your mind is the fact that there are kids in the same age range that are blackmailing and bullying these other kids to do these things. Like it's people talk about it being disgusting. It's like, it's just even more mind numbing when it comes to that level. And thank you, DC, the Purple Diva. Yes, I do have something over on the couch that I have to do a demo of soon. But getting back to the topic, there is, as some people have said, there is a lot of evil in the world. And there's the evil of the people that are doing it. There's the evil of the people that are selling the access to be able to do it. Mm-hmm. There's multiple levels of evil in that regard. But at the end of the day, it's just like I said, people are focusing and over obsessing about the wrong things and the wrong people. And instead giving the support to the people that need it, the people that are the victims.
There's numerous people, I've ran into numerous people that are victims or victims of attempts like myself that see and understand that it's not just one specific side of thing, it's multiple sides of things. It's not such a black and white area. There is a lot of shades of gray in there.
A lot of gray, right?
Yeah. I mean, just like to someone, you could say someone has the name Tom. Well, his name is Tom. He's a pedophile. Like, this is how ridiculous how people go. Or, oh, that guy, he's got his hair slicked to the side. All pedophiles have his hair slicked to the side. Like, everyone is somehow an FBI child pedophile serial investigator or profiler.
Right.
And so, like, it's ridiculous.
And
Terry, then the worst part. No, go ahead.
No, you finish up your thought. Go ahead.
I was just going to say, and that's why it's so traumatizing to even be convicted of it, even if it's the minutest of possibility, because it destroys a person's life if it ever gets out into the public and it gets far enough into people's minds, and especially more of those people's minds that have the sick and twisted view on being over obsessive about people that are pedophiles. It becomes even worse because then, like you said, it becomes life threatening because,
right.
Well, the law didn't do anything. I'm taking it into my own hands. Like I said, I myself had 2 attempts done on me, but also at the same time, there's a lot of people that are wasting people's resources and time throwing out fake accusations when they should be going after the real predators, the ones that are also out there selling children. And, there's so many resources tied into it for the wrong, like, tied up and put into the efforts for the wrong reasons and after the wrong people. It just reminds me of, like, I had a very similar incident with some of my super fans, as I'll call them. They tried to do the same thing to me, and I said, well, here's the biggest problem. If I was, don't you think I would have been arrested by now?
Right.
I said, especially considering there was a big 4-year cooperative effort done between the CIA, FBI, and one other organization in the world about 3-4 years ago that had been done over a 4-year span. And they went into the US, they went into Canada, they went into, I think it was one other country that I can't remember off the top of my head. And it was bam, 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 bam. They caught all these people, round them up. I did have, in my area, there was at least 3 cases found and arrested. So it was like I said to them, I said, do you think if I really was, that my arse would have not been in jail with the other 3 people that were arrested in the last 4 months? So I mean, people doing that, it's ridiculous. Like I said, the child, there's a really, really bad child network going on, and this kind of also plays into a little bit that I'm also irritated with, and it's not
Were you a part of
I've
IRC,
seen-
Internet Relay Chat? I think you answered that before.
No.
But
No, my main stomping ground was Almac Internet Chat back in the day, which had multiple rooms over multiple things. And it was just like I said, people, it makes me laugh that there is people that believe that, I will say, between the ages of 14 and 17, that these children, as people still call them, or teenagers or whatnot, still think they're naive and that there is no sexuality about them or whatever else. And it's like I said, I've seen on the internet 14-year-old females getting after 17 and older. And it's like people are saying like, well, she's not mature, she's been conned by them. No, actually, it's the other way around. There's a lot of youth that are enabled by some parts of society or bad parenting in the first place to be sexually empowered. So instead of being the victim of a sexual predator, they are more the sexual predator because they know they can get away with stuff and the person they go after.
Well, Terry, may I jump in there for a second? Because you made an excellent point. And I think what you're saying is, and just hear me out, and folks, don't